Welcome back, everybody. I'm so tired of not getting this series done because my phone ain't got enough space. So I'm saying, screw it. Come what may, whatever becomes of this phone, it's just gonna have to happen. I've only have 2 gym badges down, and it's been 4 goddamn parts. So we're doing an hour-long special, whether my phone likes it or not. So if I lose any data, that's just gonna have to happen. So we're gonna get these gym badges done. I'm tired of all of it. We're going through this right now. So what if Ashwood's Red Sun Part 5? We need to end this cancel series off, and we're not going to end it today, but we're definitely going to get a huge significant part of it done. Ash needs to at least get 3 gym badges today. that makes 5 badges, and then we can do another hour long. Next is going to be Johto. Well, this isn't the finale, but still, come on, we're getting this done. Ash is on the way to get his 3rd gym badge. So that's Vermilion City. So while Ash was traveling with Misty and Brock, they do know that Ash is already strong enough in his own right, having Charmeleon as his starter. Mew as his starter. Charmeleon is what his dad gave him, not even knowing that part. But still, like I said, all these gym leaders are pretty much upgraded, so Ash has to train a lot harder than usual because ever since Red and Blue flew through the challenge before, Pokemon back then aren't really as the gym leaders Pokemon aren't really as weak. Now they got a stronger AI. Basically, it's like you're almost in a Nuzlocke Kaizo, like a modded Pokemon game. So Ash has to really plan around his strategies and whatnot to actually win. And Lieutenant Surge is no goddamn joke. Oh boy. So here we go. Oh yeah, I almost forgot one key detail about Ash's team, what he needs. He ends up running into Bulbasaur shortly after defeating Misty. Yep, guys, you got to get the key members of the Kanto team on here. But like I said, we ain't playing that no evolving crap right here. Ash is gonna get all his Pokemon to evolve in the way he can, and they're gonna be strong, bruh, very strong. So Ash ends up running into Bulbasaur in that forest there. He helps Bulbasaur with that little forest problem he has of defeating the bad guys that would show up. And after proving his strength to Bulbasaur, Bulbasaur would agree to come with Ash on his travels, leading Ash to have another team member in Bulbasaur. Okay, so if I want to add Bulbasaur to the team, because Ash is very limited on space here. Okay, I got an idea on how to do this. I forgot to put on Do Not Disturb. Give me one sec, guys. Alright, guys, I'm back and I got an idea. So the way that this would go would actually be fairly simple. So later that night, when Ash is with all of his Pokemon, just imagine they're all out because I don't really feel like putting them all back out again just to put them right back in there. So later that night, when all of Ash's Pokemon are out with Misty and Brock's Pokemon, they would see a shooting star, and this would be amazing. Until pieces of the shooting star would kind of sparkle their way down to them, as Ash would go over and pick them up. As Brock would tell them that Ash has gotten moonstones. Really? Yeah, they can be used to help certain people. Yeah, not people. Certain Pokemon evolve. As Ash would say, can any of his Pokemon evolve with it? And since Misty would know about Cube Pokemon, I think she would know about Clefairy being able to evolve, but Nidorino would take a step toward it as well. You both can evolve using this, as they both nod their head. Well, do you guys want to? As they both look at each other, back to Ash, Nidorino would tap its horn on the stone, and Clefairy would just touch it with its finger. As now that we get 2 evolutions on Ash's team, and once it's all said and done, Nidorino and Clefairy have become Nidoking and Clefable. Now, with these 2 new evolutions, Ash knew he was ready for Lieutenant Surge. Now, this here would be great. But still, another key part of his training wouldn't really hurt, would it? Nah, it wouldn't. So after training his Pokemon just a little bit more, so he feels like his Pokemon are ready. So, finally, after getting to Vermilion City. So they all make it through until a bunch of Pokemon actually griefed them, as they realized it was a bunch of Squirtles. Yep, guys, the Squirtle squad is here. And so, wow. Now Officer Jenny says she's been chasing them down, and literally, okay, I'm gonna say it was, dang, I can't really, oh yeah, right, okay. To put it in perspective here, it was Meowth this time, because right now we don't have Pikachu yet. We don't have Pikachu yet, guys. He didn't make it to the Pikachu Valley yet in order to catch one. I know you can catch one in like Viridian Forest, but I wasn't really thinking at that point in time, and so I made him get an Eevee instead. So with that being said, I'm gonna say it was Meowth. That way for Ash to build like a much stronger bond with Team Rocket's Meowth to give it a lot more of an in-depth story that way. So Meowth would end up getting injured, and the Squirtle Squad would refuse to like let Ash help him. But you know, after Ash's pleading and everything, Ash ends up running toward the Pokemon Center, getting a potion, and helping out Meowth. And after that, Squirtle would join the team as well. So after that, we have two new Pokemon. Well, make that 4. We got Bulbasaur, we have Nidoking, Clefable, and we have Squirtle. So now we can move on to the gym battle. So Ash has to plan out his team. Since he knows that Pidgeotto is straight up gonna get O-code, he can't bring Pidgeotto in. He has to bring in one of another heavy hitter, one of his other strong hitters. So who can he bring in for this fight? He knows that Nidoking will be an asset because it's have ground type, but he wants to save Nidoking for last because it's his strongest that he has against them, and he doesn't want Lieutenant Surge to like start catching wind of what he's doing. Okay, I got an idea. So this is Ash's team that he's going to be going in with. So the team that Ash is going with consists of Mew, Charmeleon, Bulbasaur, Meowth, Mankey, and Nidoking. Meowth, even though Meowth is usually a coward when it comes to fights, seeing how much Ash truly cared for Meowth, wanted Meowth to try harder in his fights. So with this being said, Meowth gained newfound confidence and he wanted to fight here. Because he brought in Mankey because extra firepower, and Mankey's a fighting type. It's always good to have a fighting type on your team. I would have brought in a Growlithe, but it's just a weaker fire type compared to Charmeleon. I mean, Ash will bring it up, and it's trained very well, but in terms of just Charmeleon has an all-around better ability, and it was bred to be like really super goddamn strong. And plus, Charmeleon is literally the size of Ash due to it being an alpha Pokemon. So even though bigger ain't really that much better, it's still having raw power on your side is really gonna go far for you. All right. Anyway, moving on the other side, it should be obvious why Ash didn't bring Butterfree and Pidgeot to the fight. Flying types, not really a good thing. Maybe he could have brought Clefable, but Metronome is still really not that great to use at this point. Only thing Ash had was Draining Kiss, and it would have just been a long, drawn-out battle. Squirtle, it's too inexperienced, and it's weak to electric types, and Eevee for that same reason. Even though it's not weak to electric types, it's still like a very inexperienced Pokemon, which Ash is going to have to train for that one. So this was the best possible team Ash could have gone with, because even though Bulbasaur is new to the squad, Bulbasaur is a fighter, while Squirtle is just a prankster. So you guys can kind of get where I'm coming from in this situation. But don't worry, Ash will get a lot more Pokemon as we move on from this state here. All right, let's move on. So the next gym leader Ash fights is now, all right, Lieutenant Surge. So when Ash meets Lieutenant Surge for the first time, he can recall the first time he fought Red. But he's stronger now. Much stronger. And this won't be the time he fails again. And to Red's son, no less. This is going to be nothing but fun. Alright, shall we get started? As Ash pulls out his first Pokeball, and he's ready. As the battle begins, Ash starts it off. Mankey, I choose you! Go, Magneton! Oof, okay, kind of a bad matchup here, but you know what? Ash believes in Mankey. He asks Mankey if he's ready, and Mankey just gives him, well, what would be a thumbs up for him. Like, let's begin! Thunder Wave! Lieutenant Surge already trying to get his chip damage in, but Ash already knew that something like this was probably coming. Alright, Mankey, use what we worked on! Dodge it! Ooh. Mankey dodges it. Now, quick, use Bulk Up! As now, Mankey's attack and I think defense grew. Yeah, attack and defense. And Lieutenant Surge knows what Ash is doing. And Ash says, one more time, use bulk up. Yeah. And Lieutenant Surge knows he can't really afford to just try and using Thunder Wave that much, so he has to hurry up. All right, fine. Use your Thunderbolt. As Thunderbolt comes and Ash says, Mankey now, roll. As Mankey curls up into a ball and rolls under the lightning bolt. As now, he jumps behind Magneton, and Ash brings his hand down. Now, use Karate Chop. Boom. Karate Chops hit Magneton square in the back. Like, oh my gosh, bro. Now that's a lot of damage. Yep, I had to pull that right there. But Magneton is still up, and Ash knew, like, all right, Mankey, brace for it. Magneton, use Thunder Wave. As, oh god, here we go. And now Mankey gets hit with a Thunder Wave, causing it to get paralyzed. Well, it may be paralyzed. And now with this here, Lieutenant Surge says to go use a Sonic Boom. Like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. Okay. So with this here, but Mankey has learned a few things thanks to Charmeleon. And that's not all. Like, okay, now Magneton shoots off the Sonic Boom. Thankfully, Mankey can dodge it. But since it's made of steel, Lieutenant Surge knows that it has this one move. Use Headbutt! As it comes in for a Headbutt, Ash just says, now Mankey, use Fire Punch! What? As Mankey charges back its fist and then hits Magneton square in like the middle eye, causing it to almost literally break apart its formation. But now Magneton is left with a burn also. Ash did not know that if he would get off a burn or not, so he wanted to ensure Mankey would get a direct hit off of Magneton. But since it did, and now it has a burn, Ash has to end this quickly. Alright, Mankey, use bulk up one last time! As Mankey gets bulked up for the third time, causing its attack and defense to rise for a third time. Now, let's finish it with the final Karate Chop. As Mankey raises its arm, it can't move due to the paralysis. Like, now, you use Thunderbolt! As it hits Mankey with the Thunderbolt, but Mankey isn't going down that easily. As Ash calls to him, Mankey, I know you've got this. Karate Chop! As Mankey charges through the Thunderbolt, raises its arm. As it brings its arm down straight onto Magneton middle Magnemite. It caves in, it brings it straight into the ground, caving it, hold on. Sorry about that. Bless me. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, as it brings its arm down onto Magneton, hitting it so hard into the ground, it creates a mini crater in the ground, causing Magneton to be knocked out. Perfect. And this here was just enough experience for Mankey to almost evolve. I know, I was just playing with you guys. It isn't going to evolve yet. But I learned something different. Its Karate Chop evolves into Brick Break. Now that's perfect. That's exactly what they needed right there. Lieutenant Surge says, great work on that, Ash. But he isn't done yet. Now, it's time for him to use one of his other Pokemon, as he sends in his Electabuzz next. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Okay. Now, Ash knows since Mankey is kind of tired and he's paralyzed, there's really no way Mankey could probably win here. But still, he's got a few ideas up his sleeve. But Lieutenant Surge has things covered as he calls for a Reflect. Wait, what? Now, physical attacks won't do much against him. But thankfully, Ash knows about Pokemon moves and stuff like that. He's researched and done everything he needs to do. Being the son of Red has its perks, but still. Not just that, Ash has always been fascinated with Pokemon and all that, and knowing what type of moves they would have to use in order to go up against the right enemy. So Ash knows what Brick Break would do. So he calls to Mankey to go for a Brick Break, as Electabuzz is ready to tank it. But since Ash has already bulked up 3 times, now he's using Brick Break, which is going to end the screen. As Electabuzz puts the reflecting screen right in front of it, Mankey brings its arm down as it chops through the reflect and hits Electabuzz square on the head, causing it to writhe in agony because that freaking hurt. And now Ash said, while it's wincing in pain, use Bulk Up for a 4th time. bringing Mankey's attack and defense all the way to its max, as it can't really upgrade itself anymore. So now Mankey is at its strongest, and while now that just made Electabuzz angry, as Lieutenant Surge calls for a Thunder Punch, and Ash calls Mankey to use a Fire Punch. So the two wind their arms back, and they both clash in the middle. Now, as their two fists collide, it's pretty cut and dry who's physically superior, because Electabuzz is easily holding back Mankey, while Mankey is giving it all and is barely doing anything to Electabuzz. Sorry about that, guys. It's like the All Might versus like All For One fight in the very first fight that we see them. Yeah, Mankey is All Might and Electabuzz is literally All For One. Just pushing Mankey back with such ease, because the difference in raw power is just too much. Mankey doesn't really have it. Even though its attack stat is all the way up, it's physical strength. It's just not too great. And plus, with Electabuzz being a secondary evolution, yeah, Mankey doesn't really have that there. And now, as Lieutenant Surge is taunting Ash and Mankey, saying that Ash has a very weak Pokemon and it's about to easily get overpowered, this causes Mankey to get angry, really angry. As Ash calls to Mankey again, as Mankey screams with all the fire in its soul and heart, as this makes Mankey plant its foot into the ground and push back with much more ferocity and tenacity than ever, causing it to finally evolve. And while the two fists are collide, the fire becomes a raging inferno, as now Electabuzz is being held back, as when it looks up, it's no longer looking at a Mankey. It's now looking into the eyes of a very, very pissed off Primeape. Oh, here we go. So Ash just said, not so powerful now, are you? Now, Primeape, overpower them. As Primeape now, it's still having the effects of Bulk Up on its side, easily pushes Electabuzz back, and even overwhelms it in the punching contest, allowing Electabuzz to get hit with a Fire Punch, with a straight uppercut from the body all the way up to its face, now causing Electabuzz to be hurt. Now this here is gonna be fun, but Lieutenant Surge says he knows that Primeape is winded from now. Wait, hold on a sec. That Primeape is winded from all this fighting, and also using its energy to evolve. Oh yeah, Primeape definitely can't take it anymore. That's where you're wrong. We're gonna win, isn't that right, Primeape? As Primeape isn't even responding. Primeape? As Primeape is now basically standing in the ring frozen. As Ash walks up to Primeape and asks what's wrong, but Ash can see that Primeape's eyes are completely blank. It's been knocked out. It using all of its power and its anger to evolve it has led it to basically knocking itself out and using all of its energy. Well, Primeape, you did amazing. You helped us and you won the battle for us. Return for now, buddy. As Ash calls back Primeape. Well then. Now this here is going to be exhausting. As now Ash calls to his second Pokemon. Okay, Ash knows he has to save his Pokemon. He has to save his Pokemon for the strategy he's trying to pull here. But still, he needs more power than this. Alright, so best thing to do is to call for some big guns. Charmeleon, I choose you! As Charmeleon now hits the battlefield. Lieutenant Surge comment on how that is a very big Charmeleon. Bigger than one he's ever seen. That's because this Charmeleon is special. It was bred from his dad's Charizard. And now it's his Pokemon. I see. So then, Electabuzz, you ready for a battle? As Electabuzz cries out, "Alright, Charmeleon, let's take this guy out." As Charmeleon roars to the skies. As immediately Lieutenant Surge calls for an all-out thunder. As now Electabuzz is revving up its electricity, Ash calls, "Hey, you ready, Charmeleon?" As Charmeleon nods its head. Then use Fire Blast! As immediately Charmeleon charges up all the firepower it has, and it getting ready as the two charge up their energies completely. Now this is about to be great. As finally Lieutenant Surge fires off its thunder and Ash shoots off its fire blast. Whoop! As now the two attacks collide, it's now a range of full-blown power. But later on, it's clearly cut easy to see who wins this, as Charmeleon is slowly overtaking Electabuzz's thunder, because Electabuzz is getting tired and is winded from all the attacks from Primeape. Taking a Brick Break straight onto the top of the noggin, and then finally getting an uppercut fire punch. Oh yeah, you're gonna feel those attacks. And they were bulk up too, so it was ridiculous. It really felt it. So moving on to these fights, as Electabuzz tries to put more power into it, but Charmeleon is just way too strong, as the Fire Blast overtakes the Thunder, and Electabuzz gets hit dead on. But then Ash recalls Charmeleon for right now, and Lieutenant Surge is wondering why, as Ash wants to save his Pokemon's energy as much as possible. So with that being said, he throws out his next Pokemon. Meowth, I choose you! As basically, well, since Meowth was never in a Pokeball, Ash just called to him, and Meowth just came from the stands onto the goddamn platform. Let's go. Here we go. So Meowth says he's ready for this. This is what he's trained for. That's right. And Lieutenant Surge laughs at the fact that Ash thinks a Meowth can stop his Electabuzz. And Meowth just says, "We'll see about that, Lieutenant." Lieutenant Butt Shock. Like, all right then. Like, Electabuzz, use your Thunderbolt. As Electabuzz shoots out a Thunderbolt, and Ash just says, "You ready, Meowth?" As ready as I'll ever be. All right. Use Iron Tail. What? As Meowth's tail turned into nothing but steel, as he uses his tail to hit the electricity away. Like, now Meowth, don't give it a chance. Run it and use Slash. As Meowth basically push it, like its claws come out, and now it comes up and it slashes the Electabuzz. Ooh. But like, don't let up, Meowth. Use Iron Tail one more time. As Meowth hits the Iron Tail on top of Electabuzz's head. Oh man. Okay, here we go. It's getting close. But we aren't done yet. Use your Thunder Punch. Oh, here it comes. No. Like, we won't give up. Oh, wait, give me 1 second. Oh. As now, Electabuzz calls for a Thunder Punch and punches Meowth square in the face. But Meowth isn't done yet. Ash told Meowth to roll under the fist and to use Night Slash. As Meowth's now its nails get coated in this dark aura as it slashes Electabuzz, causing it to get a critical hit. Ooh, now that's a lot of damage. And Ash told Meowth to not let up and to use a Shadow Claw now. Ash is trying to get, using crit moves to try to take advantage of Electabuzz's slowness. And right as Meowth hits Electabuzz with the critical hit, Lieutenant Surge calls for a Thunder. As now all Electabuzz has to do, it grabs Meowth in a bear hug position, and it shocks everywhere. Well, like the whole stadium. And causing Electabuzz to be knocked out because using all of its energy. But Meowth is still in the ring standing, but it's pretty fried from that. So now Ash realizes that he's really running low on Pokemon here, but he's about to. Lieutenant Surge claps his hands, saying he didn't think that Ash would actually get past Electabuzz with just 2 Pokemon. But still, this one here is what gave your father some trouble back in the day. And this one here is his partner from the war. Raichu, let's go! Ash calls to Meowth, asking it if it's okay, because this Raichu, he knows what this Raichu is capable of here. Sometimes when Red would stay around, Ash would ask his father about his times as a trainer when he went through Kanto, and Red told Ash one of his harder gym leaders was Lieutenant Surge because of that because he had a Raichu and it was very, very powerful. So Ash knew not to underestimate this Raichu. Ash asked Meowth, can it still battle? And Meowth said he's a bit winded from that thunder, but he'll be okay. As Lieutenant Surge says, "Oh, well, if you're winded, then let me finish you off." As Ash says, "Meowth, use Night Slash. We have to get big damage off now." "You got it." As Meowth Both of its claws are coated in this dark aura again as it shoots off towards Raichu. But Lieutenant Surge just laughs and says, "Use thunder!" As Raichu conjures up a thunder super quickly and shoots it directly at Meowth, causing Meowth to get shocked right back and to be shocked with such electricity that it's knocked out from just that one move. Ash knew that this Raichu was dangerous, but this is a whole new level that he couldn't anticipate. All right, his plan has to be made known now. He can't keep putting it off like this. He was hoping he could win with pure power, and that's why he brought this team, because he knew this team was nothing but pure power here. But even so, this is going to get dangerous. All right. As Ash goes and picks up Meowth, thanking it for its effort, and asks Misty and Brock to take care of Meowth. As Meowth does eventually wake up and apologize to Ash that he couldn't do more. Ash told Meowth that he did enough by defeating Electabuzz, and he's avenged Primeape. Now let them take care of the rest. Okay. So now Ash calls to his next Pokemon. Bulbasaur, I choose you! As Ash now threw in Bulbasaur. Lieutenant Surge laughs at the fact that Ash really thought a Bulbasaur could possibly beat his Raichu. Ash knows that as of right now, Bulbasaur probably can't beat Raichu. But the thing is, he has a plan around to beat that Raichu. Oh, really? Well, let's see if it works. Raichu, use your Body Slam! As Raichu comes in to use Body Slam. Ash knew that this was the perfect moment. Bulbasaur, use Headbutt! Don't let it try you. As Bulbasaur uses Headbutt to try to push Raichu back. And to its own credit, it actually does move Raichu back slightly, but Raichu does still pull off Body Slam. And Ash, I thought so. Now, Bulbasaur, while it's right above your Bulbous, quick, use Poison Powder. What? As Lieutenant Surge wasn't expecting that, and Raichu being right above the bulb, it gets sprayed directly in the face with poison powder, causing it to get a direct hit. As now Raichu is poisoned, like, oh no, like, don't let up, Bulbasaur, quick, use Leech Seed. As Bulbasaur shoots seeds at Raichu, and now it actually hit Raichu, causing it to now be leeched, to be seeded, and it's poisoned. Yes. And Lieutenant Surge is now worried because this is his last Pokemon here. And Raichu was just poisoned and seeded. He needs to start taking care of this quickly. So now Ash says, "Now Bulbasaur, while he's distracted, use your Solar Beam attack." As now Bulbasaur is charging up for Solar Beam. As Lieutenant Surge needs to end this right now. He tells Raichu to power up its Hyper Beam. What? As now Raichu conjuring up its Hyper Beam. As the two are charging their energy. And immediately Ash says, "Now Bulbasaur, Solar Beam!" As now a beam of energy gets shot at Raichu. But Raichu's Hyper Beam is just too much. As it completely overtakes Bulbasaur's Solar Beam and hits it dead on, knocking it out with just one attack. Oh no, Bulbasaur! And that's what you get. Now, even though it can't be seeded, it's still poisoned. Ash is slowly chipping away at its health, but still, this is a dangerous game he's playing. Okay, I gotta bring out the heaviest hitter now. No more stalling. As here we go. Nidoking, I choose you! As now Ash brings out the biggest gun he can. Nidoking. Alright. Let's do this. And now Lieutenant Surge here. He never thought that Ash would have had a ground type on his team. But fine. If he wants to play that game, then I guess they can do that too. And Ash says he knows Raichu is his last Pokemon, and he can't use his electric type moves. He knows he has Thunderbolt and Thunder, so the best thing he's got are Hyper Beam and Body Slam. But he's got something much more on that, as he tells Nidoking that he asks Nidoking, "Is he ready?" As Nidoking nods. Then use Cross Poison. As immediately Nidoking runs in to use Cross Poison, and Raichu can't really fight back because it has to recharge, so it has no choice but to eat that Cross Poison head on. And now, quickly Nidoking Pin Raichu down as Nidoking grabs Raichu and pins it down. Use Earth Power as immediately Earth Power activates, causing Raichu to get hit heavily. And just like that, Nidoking actually beat Raichu. Oh, dang. Raichu, and the craziest thing is, Ash didn't know Raichu was that tired. But I guess the poison and everything else was just too much. And, well, the Leech Seed kind of did seed its last bit of energy. So Ash had won his 3rd gym badge. Yes! Amazing. So, with that being said, Ash got his 3rd gym badge. Now to move on to his 4th one. Be right back, guys. So finally, Ash, after getting his 3rd gym badge, feels amazing and that he's actually won. Now he changed up his team a little bit because now it's time for a little training montage to get out there. And with that being said, well, you know what? I don't really want to wait to do this. So Ash gets 2 new evolutions. Bulbasaur and Squirtle actually do end up evolving because I feel like honestly they were like of level, but Ash just never really asked that to happen. So immediately Ash, with a very little bit of training, he gets an Ivysaur and a Squirtle. And you know what? For next, okay, you guys put in the comment section down below if you want Meowth to evolve or not. Because I can evolve Meowth into a fucking talking Persian, and then that would just be funny on its own accord. But anyway, just tell me guys down below, do you want Meowth to evolve, yes or no? Because I'll save that for the next part if you guys want that to happen. But for right now, he has an Ivysaur and a Wartortle. Alright guys, Ash now has a Wartortle and an Ivysaur on his team, which is also pretty great. But sadly guys, we're coming up to, well, okay, hold on. Yeah, we're coming up to the episode where Ash has to say bye-bye to his Butterfree. Yep, his very shiny Butterfree. So that episode goes as canon to where Butterfree wants to woo a pink Butterfree, and with that being said, Ash has to part ways with his first caught Pokemon, and that's a sad thing now. So Butterfree is now going to be like up where where you guys can see the name Red version right there. Butterfree's going to be up there, but Ash will hopefully see it again. But now Ash has to, now focus on new Mons. So when he's about to go into the cave to make it to Lavender Town, Ash ends up catching 2 more Pokemon because he ends up fishing with Misty because he wants to get some experience on how to fish for Pokemon. And so Misty was happy to teach Ash how to do that. So with that being said, Ash ended up getting a Poliwag, and inside of the cave, he ended up getting a Diglett. So he has 2 more Mons added to his team. So yeah, guys, as you can see in front of Ash, he's caught 2 Pokemon. A Diglett from the cave he's going in. Literally from the Diglett cave right next to Vermilion City. And the Poliwag because he ended up fishing it up thanks to the help of Misty. And Misty already has a Poliwag as well. So now they're best friends in that right too. But Misty's gonna her Poliwag is gonna grow up into something different than what Ash has got plans for his Mon. Anyway, let's move on though, shall we? Alright, let's go. Alright guys, so eventually they get through this stuff and they make it through make it to Lavender Town. But hearing that it's filled with ghosts and everything, okay, not yet. This isn't the ghost episode yet. Because Ash needs to make it to the Psychic Gym before doing that. So, but before any of this extra stuff can go on, I need to do like the mini-sodes and everything. So, what happens here? Oh, wait, no, that's like later. So, okay, fine. After this gym badge, then we can move on to the mini-sodes. So, okay. With that situation going on, Ash and the gang end up making it to Celadon City. Perfect. Where the next gym is the Grass Gym. And Ash, his outlook on perfume isn't as bad. He just doesn't like it. He doesn't say perfume is a stinky ripoff or anything, but he just doesn't really view perfume as well. He just doesn't like it. Because Ash is very sensitive to, like, his nose is sensitive to this stuff. And, well, he just said it's like kind of too much and too heavy. And still the girls don't really take too kindly to Ash saying stuff like that. But Ash put it in polite words though. So when Ash goes to the gym to get his gym badge, the people at the front actually don't let Ash in because of his outlook on perfume, and they say